place are personal documents, IDs of Ukrainian troops, military uniforms. Apparently the soldiers here shook off these, left them here, and put on civilian clothing before mingling with civilians.
In a chaotic retreat from their bases, vast amounts of equipment are people from using
old-style infantry
troops. Canada refuses to send more sanctions Kiev through humanitarian corridors. Jin abandoned tanks on the ground there.
Ukrainian troops, there wasn't much of a fight here. They in military base.
Fleeing from the scene, all witness there. Our senior correspondent, Murat Gazdiev, who's now on the ground there, can tell us more.
We're now at a Ukrainian military base in the province of Kherson. This base was abandoned very quickly by Ukrainian troops. There wasn't much of a fight here. They left their equipment. These are, for example, T-64 tanks, all of them in working order. They're now being evacuated from here by the Russian military, which has taken over. Where they're being taken, we haven't been told. But again, these are tanks all in working order. Over there, there's an arsenal, so small arms, rocket-propelled grenades, vast quantities of ammunition also left behind. You can see armored personnel carriers, as well as all manner of trucks that have been left here. Where all these Ukrainian troops have gone is something that nobody knows. They may have mingled with the civilian population or moved further west towards where the front lines are, and where certain Ukrainian elements of their military are still putting up a fight. And this is a vast Ukrainian military field camp that was abandoned by the troops here. From what we've been told, there were 3,000 to 4,000 Ukrainian servicemen stationed here. None were left by the time the Russian military arrived. As you can tell, they left in a tremendous Ukrainian servicemen stationed here. None were left by the time the Russian military arrived. As you can tell, they left in a tremendous hurry. All over the place are personal documents, IDs of Ukrainian troops. Also, military uniforms. Apparently the soldiers here shook off these, left them here, and put on civilian clothing before mingling with civilians in the city or in various villages nearby. This, as I say, a scene of absolute chaos. Personal items are everywhere. We have also been told that the troops here were abandoned by their own leadership, that they weren't made aware that Russian forces were advancing, and they only learned this from news reports and from conversations with locals. Again, this place is absolutely vast. These tents, rows and rows of tents, stretch for hundreds of meters. Here's also a huge ammunition dump of the Ukrainian military. There are crates packed with various ammunition, explosives all over the place. 122 millimeter mines, mortar rounds, a tank shell, along with the charge, for example. In this protected depot are even more explosives. For example, guided missile canisters, rows and rows of them, as well as here you have the explosive heads, the detonators for mines. Over in these crates, 80 millimeter mortar rounds, and again, this stretches into the distance. Crates and crates of various bullets, mines, and much more. It isn't safe here. It is believed that at least the ammunition dumps that they are mined, that there are booby traps and explosives. A surprise for Russian troops.
Now, less than a day after Ukraine's president slammed NATO